Hi, I'm Rachel Allen and I'm delighted to be here in Firecastle in Market Square for the launch of Taste of Kildare at Christmas. I'm going to cook two little things, a starter and a dessert. The starter is a really lovely salad, but it can also be served as a little canapé. And it's basically just pecan, blue cheese, dried cranberries in chicory leaves or with some green salad leaves. So lovely at this time of the year, but actually it's good all winter. And then I'm going to make a cake. And this is a mincemeat crumble cake. So of course it's very festive and lovely right now, but you could make it at any other time of the year using jam, like a raspberry jam or a blackberry jam instead of the mincemeat in the center. I'm going to make the cake first because I need to get that into the oven. So this cake consists of 3 layers. You've got a sponge in the bottom, then you've got a layer of mincemeat, and then a crumble top. So you want to first of all preheat the oven to 180 degrees, or if it's a fan oven, make sure it's down to about 160 degrees. And then you want to take a 20 centimeter cake tin and rub it with a little bit of butter on the inside. And this is a springform tin, it's got high sides. Good little tip for this is, with the base of the tin, what you want to do is you want to have the base upside down, so that, as you can see, it's just completely flat on top. So the cake will be able to slide off when it's baked. I've buttered this, so that's got some butter on it already. And then I'm going to prepare the crumble first, because once you've made the cake, you need to go straight ahead and put the crumble on top. So in the crumble here, I've got 75 grams of butter cut into cubes, 75 grams of sugar. You can use a caster sugar or a light brown sugar, which I've got here. And then 110 grams of self-raising flour. So I'm going to rub them all together to make this really gorgeous crunchy crumble. And then to make it even more crunchy and a little bit festive as well, I've got some chopped almonds and I'm going to mix those in at the end. So just rubbing it in. You don't want to put this into a blender or into a food mixer because you want the butter to be like coarse breadcrumbs, and that will give you your crunchy crumble there. I love this cake to have just as, you know, dessert with some cream, or you could put a little bit of rum or brandy into the whipped cream to serve with it. Serve with ice cream, or just delicious, a little slice of it with a cup of coffee. There, so keep rubbing the butter in. Like that. And the self-raising flour, the little bit of raising agent in the self-raising flour is going to give you quite a light crumble, which works really well. So keep going until they're just really the consistency of coarse breadcrumbs, the lumps of butter. There, like that. Okay, that's good now. So once the mixture kind of goes a more creamy yellow color, there, it's ready. And I'm using salted butter. You don't need to use unsalted butter. And add in the almonds. So I've got the skin still on the almonds and I've chopped them, so you get a really lovely coarse crunch from these. Fantastic. So that's the crumble ready. Next thing I need to do is to make the cake, and this is the base. So I've got in here 110 grams of butter, 110 grams of light brown sugar again. There. I like the light brown sugar because it gives this cake an almost toffee-ish flavour that I find complements the mincemeat really well. You can always, if you wish, put some spice into this, into the base or the crumble. A little bit of cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, mixed spice if you like, but I just love the flavours as they are. So I just want to soften this butter. It's got a little bit cold, and cream this. So keep mixing it until it's lovely and soft. So now finally the butter and sugar is nice and soft, and it needs to be soft before you start adding the eggs in. 1 egg going in, and then beat it again until this egg is incorporated, and then you can add the next egg. Do make sure your oven is completely preheated by the time this goes into the oven. It wants to bake immediately to give you a lovely light cake. Shouldn't sit around and wait. Okay, so that's incorporated. Now next egg going in. So that's 110 grams of butter, 110 grams of light brown sugar, 2 eggs, and now I'm going to put in half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. There. All these lovely ingredients available here at Firecastle. And 175 grams of self-raising flour. This has been sifted already. Okay, so mix this around, adding in 2 tablespoons of milk just to lighten it a little bit. There. And then I always just use a spatula at the end just to scrape down the sides of the bowl. Get all the flour in. There. Okay, and then you want to put the cake mixture, straight into the cake tin. So I've buttered the cake tin, but there's no need to line the base. In fact, you don't want to line the base. It'll get in the way if you line the base with parchment paper, because this cake is going to be I'm going to slide it off the base after it's baked. And the base is flat, so it's just going to slide off easily and perfectly. There. So then spread it around to evenly cover the base, like so. And then once you've got that layer in, so that's the first layer, there. Then you take mincemeat, a layer of mincemeat, or you can use a jam, a jelly, a marmalade of your choice. So a few spoons of mincemeat, and dot the mincemeat around the top. Don't just put one big lump of mincemeat on top, because I need to spread it out. And if you put one big lump, then it disturbs the cake underneath when you're spreading it out. There. Last little bit. Okay. And then spread it out like this. Gorgeous. There. This is so good as this bakes in the oven. The festive aromas that then fill the kitchen and the house with the mincemeat baking, with the buttery sponge and that gorgeous brown sugary crumble. Just so good. There. And then cover it with the crumble. So you just pour the crumble over it like this. There. And then you don't want to press down on the crumble because you want it to be crunchy, and you're going to get all that lovely crunch from, well, not only the almonds, but the lovely coarse pieces of butter in here that you've rubbed in just gently. And then put this into an oven preheated to 180 degrees, or if you've got the fan on in the oven, 160 degrees. Put it in kind of in the lower part of the oven, not on the floor, but in the lower part of the oven. And because it's going to take about 45 to 55 minutes to bake, depending on the oven. So if it's too close to the top, it'll get too brown on top. But you want it to be a rich golden brown. This is going to cook until the center feels like it's got a firm spring, not too soft, a wet dough underneath. So pop that into the oven. There. Okay, while the cake is baking, I'm just going to make this really simple little starter. And this is it's more than really a sum of its parts. It's just a combination of some ingredients and textures that go really well together. So, put that there. What I've got here is I've got pecans. I've toasted these pecans in a frying pan on the heat, dry frying pan, just for a minute or two, just until they crunch up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop the pecans just coarsely, like so. There. You want a nice little coarse, crunchy bite. So So put those into a bowl. I mean, this is so simple, it's hardly even a recipe at all, actually. It's just, as I said, just a lovely combination of these really good ingredients that tend to be quite festive. Cranberries, these are dried cranberries, which add a really gorgeous little bite to the salad, and of course, their lovely sweet sourness. There. Okay, just coarsely chopped like that. In they go to the pecans. And then some blue cheese. This is Cashel blue cheese, lovely Irish blue cheese from County Tipperary. So crumble up the blue cheese. And the amounts I do of this are kind of equal volumes. You can do it really just by eye. That's good. And I'm crumbling it up purposely rather than chopping it up because I want it to look a little bit more coarse and rustic. And now, chop some parsley. A little bit of flat or curly parsley if you wish. Can go in there. And just coarsely chop the parsley. There. And then put the parsley in here too. And then all you need to do is just bring this together with a little bit of dressing. So I'm going to add in some extra virgin olive oil and some red wine vinegar, or you could use a balsamic or a sherry vinegar if you wish. And generally it's about 3 parts extra virgin olive oil to 1 part vinegar. So a small little drizzle of vinegar might be enough. Some extra virgin olive oil and some sea salt. Just a little bit. The blue cheese will be a little bit salty and tangy too, so you shouldn't need a huge amount. And then toss this together. Give it a little taste. That's so good. Okay, so one thing you can do is, you can, if you wish, let me show you. Turn this into a little canapé by, I'm just removing the outer leaves from the chicory. Actually, let's use those in the salad. Chicory brings a really good bitter taste to a salad, and actually which is really good for our digestive system. The bitter leaves, which we don't have enough of anymore, there's bitter flavors. So I'll take some little chicory leaves, some cute little canapés, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. You can just simply, actually lift the leaf up, fill these with a nice little spoonful of the filling. So guests can just lift one up and simply eat it like that. There, and they kind of slightly topple, that's okay. And there. There, and 1, 2. There as a really simple little canapé. Or you could serve it as a salad, a starter, or accompanying a main course. A little bit of extra virgin olive oil again, a little drizzle of vinegar. Actually put my thumb over it. It's enough just to make the leaves glisten. Tiny pinch of sea salt. And then just toss that. Put in some of the mixture, save some for the top. There. And then some delicious winter greens. There's some kale. There. Some more kale. I've got some watercress leaves, some radicchio, some rocket. Lovely colour. And this is just a delicious little winter salad. There's some of the chicory. There. And that is it. A very simple, lovely cashew blue, dried cranberry, pecan salad, or a canapé. That's it. So now, at this stage, the cake is still cooking, is not quite cooked just yet, but I do have another one that I prepared earlier. Ta-da! And it's golden brown, like the almonds are lovely and toasted on top. Dust it with some icing sugar once it's cooled down. There, but it's divine actually if you serve this while it's still a little bit warm. And you know what? If you've made this yesterday, you still have it today. It's going to keep anyway for another few days. It's really good, even just warmed up a little bit. And then let me just show you. Cut into it. There. And there. And that is it. And that is my very festive mincemeat crumble cake. So that's it, a little taster of the kind of delicious recipes that you'll be seeing at Taste of Kildare at Christmas. I hope you enjoy, and don't forget to tune in every day from the comfort of your own home and watch and see what everyone's up to.